So I have a special guest over here. He presents with Palinopsia, which is like after images, right? And we're going to talk about what it is and how we take care of it, right? So, okay, my friend, clue us in. You know, when did this? Well, how did you get it?
When I researched Palinopsia in general, I started cluing in more and more that it might have been something I kind of always had my entire life, but very so minor that it wasn't noticeable. Mm-hmm. And the only time it would ever appear is whenever I'd be very tired, you know, late at night, should be going to sleep, 2 a.m, I would see like visual effects like, you know, more negative images or trail vision whenever my hand would move across contrasting surfaces, or even now. Since May, so that's like 6 months back or so, I just noticed that instead of it going away after going to sleep, it just persisted during the day, day after day, almost constant. Mm-hmm. Or either constant or just became way more obvious to me. There's some times where it wouldn't be so bad, but as of late, it's been more intense than usual, and it's hard to ignore. Mm-hmm. Even as we speak, whenever anything moves across or when your hands move, it's as if there's like a ghost trail following it. Mm-hmm. So that's one part of the Palinopsia. The other part is if I look at something, there's contrast, and look away, I will see kind of at least the frame of it or a negative image of it persist for just a second or so.
And that's the after image.
And it also makes a couple other things is that it makes it difficult for me to look at kind of pinstripe patterns or grid patterns that are very tight, like thin lines. Mm-hmm. It looks like they're jumping around a bit, as well as it also makes it so it's very hard to read text on the computer when there's like contrasting, like white on black or black on white, like those kind of text patterns on the computer. Once I'm staring, depending on the intensity, it gets very difficult for me to read. Like the letters kind of feel like they're jumping around a little bit, as well as I will look, then look away, and the entire like text, like outline, like it looks like, you know, a template of text will just stay with me for about a second or so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's most of it there.
All right. Now there's several components in terms of neurology, how it's connected to Palinopsia. So if everyone's more familiar with what's going on with the optic nerve, okay, that's this nerve and goes straight into, into visual cortex over there, all right? But there's another component, and that's what we see over here. See all those blue and green lines over here, right? So now what's interesting enough is that we have two major nerve divisions, okay? One's called sympathetic, one's called parasympathetics. Simple way to put it, one's gas pedal, makes things go faster. Then we have the brake pedal, makes things go slower, right? So it goes from here, loops all the straight down, and loops straight back into the brain itself, okay? So because it loops all the straight down here, right, any potential problems in this region over here may cause some nerve interference. These particular nerves are responsible for how your iris and your pupil open and closes, okay? And all other data going on with your eyes as well. So therefore, if there's some kind of short circuit going on over here, it may explain the after image, the Palinopsia, all right? So now let's go ahead, let's take a look at the X-ray, see what's going on there.
Sure, yeah.
I want to take a closer look, see what's going on, any potential problems in this region over here. And I do see these two over here, both are posterior and also the inferior as well. But because number 5, which traditionally I found clinically with several cases of Palinopsia with other patients, usually it fits cervical. But because the way this thing is also seems to be compensated in a really tough, brutal way over here, it looks like we have to address that 6 first, and then it's going to be the 5 in a future visit over here, because the way everything's rotated this way over here. Now, since we got this dynamic going on over here, I want to look what causes huge twists that happen in your neck. In essence, they're like this. There's so much twist over here, it's irritated the nerve that goes to your eyesight itself. So we're going to trace it down, what happened. Keep on going down, we have a twist over here, we have another twist over here, and keep on going all straight down to the pelvis. Now the pelvis itself, this should be level, but because it went down this way, all right, instead of being over here, so things that make it drop down like this way, potential is either going to be what we call in the Gonstead method in terms of 3-dimensional listing. That may either be a PIEX or PIX type of listing. And to confirm that, I want to take a look at over here. This actually, if it's a PIEX or PIX, should be very horizontal, but yet it's almost neutral position. Okay, So it tells me your body does some interesting compensations where even your fifth lumbar should be a little more leveled on top of the foundation, but no, this one also went backwards and inferior as well. So now, because of the way this fell over here, this is a PIEX misalignment, and we confirmed it by having a tall, vertical height over here, okay, and also your gluteal fossa went way over to the left. So in essence, right now your pelvis, you're like sinking down this way over here, back this way, and also you're like tweaked over this way. All right. Yeah, but your body, what it started doing over here was, it started doing an immediate rotation twist like this way. So the problem is, we can't walk this way.
Right.
So what your body started doing is like, let me find a way to get my head level over here. So it's like twisting all over here. You're doing like the matrix kind of thing. Okay, try to twist that away. And that's what I'm seeing over here, where your body is supposed to be neutral here, but instead it went already here, fall that way, wrap this way, turns this way, rotate this way, that way like this, swings this way like that. All right. So with so much rotation twist, let's go like this. Okay. Keep on twisting like this all over here. No big surprise. There's so much tension in your neck itself, all the muscle spasms, so on and so forth. So let's take out the root cause of the problem first. I want to confirm on you during examination. I wouldn't be surprised if this left hip is the one that's old injury that's been driving the whole entire thing, where it got to a point where it's the final straw broke the camel's back, and this fell over here, the nerve, it just like, boom, I'm done, I'm doing a towel, and now we start to have symptoms.
Yeah.
So once we start adjusting this one over here, we're gonna double check, and keep on checking after each adjustment. I want to see how your Palinopsia is. Let's start off with visualization. So we can see over here, guys, see, so there's actually some splotching of redness all around the base of his neck. So that tells me the upper cervical. Okay, so he's so rotated that it's twisting his atlas and putting pressure on there. But we also see over here, there's also quite a bit of swelling over here, muscle spasms here. This is also all puffy and swollen here. Same story over here. Same down here as well. So let's confirm all that stuff. Now we take a look with instrumentation over here, and we want to confirm these presence of these potential problems. We mark these particular levels. So we're going to take a closer look during examination. Now I'm not saying that we're going to adjust every single one of these fellas. Again, we're marking these potential areas because I want to confirm on them. If these are truly the ones we're going to address. The saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I don't want to move something that's not supposed to be addressed at all. See right there? See, that's stuck. That's not moving whatsoever. That's not too bad. Yeah, 2S is actually just fine, decent. How's that fella right there?
Feels fine for the most part. I don't feel
It's
necessarily.
not that great either. How's that fella right there?
A little tense.
What about this fella right there?
I could feel some sort of tension there, like as if it won't go any further.
And then how about this fella right there?
Yeah, that feels stiff there.
That's your 6. How about this one right there? That's not that great either, number 5.
Yeah, there's some cracking there when.
As I mentioned before on the X-rays, right? We have to address the number 6 first before we can go after your 5.
Right.
Okay? So if you're looking for a miraculous, instantaneous off, okay, I'm not guaranteeing that. We have to start building these up so we can finally get to the number 5.
That's
Okay?
fair, yeah.
Okay, walk around, sir.
I feel a lot looser here. It feels like
Okay, that's good. Next question is, do you notice anything change with your vision?
It's as it's going, it's getting a little lighter. Like it's not as intense.
How much less intensity would you say right now?
I would say about like 10 to 15%. Like it's still there, but it's not quite as intense. It's hard to describe.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. That's what I was saying before. We're addressing the root cause of your problem, taking some of that twist out of your spine already. Let's start working our way up.
Right.
Yeah. Breathe. Come on up, sir. Walk around. Turn around. Good. Test your vision. Or do you want to look at the extra images?
Yeah, just looking at contrasting stuff, just to see like, so the negative images aren't as persistent, like not as long. Like they still occur, but like a lot, like shorter. It doesn't last as long.
Okay. When we turn off the lights, you could test your vision even more?
Yeah.
Okay, stand by.
Yeah, it goes away it goes away faster, like considerably faster. It's hard to say like how much, but I just know that it's not as persistent as it was. But like by like, not like a crazy amount, but like I would say I'm noticing that it goes away faster. It feels like my vision's less exhausted.
Nice.
A little less exhausted than it was before.
Right there. Drop the bone. There you go. Good. Okay, sir. Go ahead. Test your vision.
Yep. Yeah, it's getting more reduced every time. Like it's not as persistent whenever I look at contrasting. You know, like that's like it's still, once again, it still occurs, but it goes away faster and faster every time.
Good.
So like the negative imaging isn't lasting as long as it used to.
Great. Let me turn off the lights. Let me see how that is.
Sure.
All right, give this one a try.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it used to. Like it's just, it gets slightly more every time. Like slightly less intense every time.
It's great. So overall, from the start to now, how much improvement would you say?
I would say like a quarter, like alleviated. Like it's still there, but I'm noticing it being like less intense.
That's a great start. Okay, so here's your homework. Okay, we're gonna have you follow our cold pack protocol for this. We're gonna get the swelling off that nerve, and in following visits, we're gonna see when that thick cervical is ready to be addressed.
Okay.
All right, but so far, it's a great start.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like it's at least starting something. It's definitely like a little. It took the edge off a bit. I guess is what I can say for sure. Like it took the edge off a bit. It's not quite as intense as it was when I walked in here. So. Like I'm looking at other things that I was looking at that were like kind of uncomfortable to look at, and they're not quite as bad. It's just a little bit off. You know, a little bit off than before.
That's what I'm saying. It's a great start. Keep on working on it in future visits.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. See you next time. Now, it's been 3 weeks since our last updates, because I understand those Christmas and New Year's.
Right.
So, give us a follow-up updates. How's everything coming along?
So everything's been coming along up and down. It's been a bit fluctuating because after the treatment, it was better for about several days to a week. And then after that week, you know, the pain in my neck came back. The intensity levels of the after imaging and the palinopsia became much more obvious, much more intense. In fact, it at least perceptively more than before. It just felt like it kind of like rubber banded. Like it just came back and it like almost like intensified than before. At least that's how it's felt. So I did notice that there was some alleviation after our treatment. So I wanted to follow up with the treatment because if nothing else, even if somehow the palinopsia isn't fixed by at least my neck and my back and everything
Understood.
else. Yeah.
Okay, so just as we explained before, you know, in the previous visit, okay, it all comes down to that foundation. Okay, if the foundation doesn't stabilize, everything else above it cannot stabilize either.
Right.
Next component is this, and I want to see if it's ready for today's visit. I want to address that fifth cervical, because the fifth cervical, that nerve root, that innervation, that level, is more responsible for your palinopsia. So I want to see if you're ready for that, okay? Because last visit we only did your 6.
Right.
Provide a little support, and that's where my expectation was, which is roughly about 10-25% improvement on that one. But the fifth cervical, I'm expecting more. But let's see if you're actually ready for that. In addition to, as we alluded to earlier on your X-ray, because the upper part of your neck and the way your body is all twisted up, and you went so much this way. So when the foundation went out, that's why it really exacerbated things.
It does feel like that, yeah.
Right. So, and also irritated more on your fifth cervical nerve root over there. See there? This is stuck again. So there's no big surprise. This is going to need some time to retrain and get that back into proper alignment there. This fellow right here too. Okay. Right there. Feel that right there?
Yeah.
That's at 5. Now it's ready to move. Here it is. Come on up. Yeah. Excellent. Right there. There's that fella.
That's a lot there. Oof.
All right, sir. Come on, stand up. Now I'll test it.
Symptoms feel a little bit milder, like they already are feeling. The first thing I'm noticing is I can read a little bit better. Like I'm able to read without it feeling so jarring. That's another thing I didn't get to mention is that text on screen has been very difficult to read the past week or so. It's like kind of slow. It feels like it's like trickling in. Kind of like it's like slowly trickling in. That felt great, by the way. The adjustment. It feels like. Yeah, it feels like there's some sort of strength coming back to my neck right now. Like it feels like my neck's able to hold up a little better. Yeah, the symptoms feel a little bit milder. Like they definitely feel noticeably milder. Like once again, they're still there, but not as intense as it was literally just a moment ago.
Okay, how less intense would you say right now?
I'd say somewhere between 10 and 20%.
10 or 20.
Pretty significant. Like yeah, like not. It's slowly as we're talking. It's getting better and better. At least milder and milder intensity of the symptoms. When I was last here, when I was leaving, when I was on my drive back home, which is like a 50-minute drive, during the drive I just felt like it was like moving in, it was like gradually feeling better and better about like looking and seeing. And right now that's what I'm getting.
No.
Yeah. Like I'd say 20%. Yeah, that feels better. It does feel a bit better, yeah. Like as we're going, like the more time that passes, it feels like there's not I'm losing a sense of pressure. There's like a pressure that I can't like pinpoint, and it just feels a little bit like the grip on it is loosened a bit. That's what I'm feeling.
Great.
Like here and vision-wise.
Okay, so we're gonna still continue on, all right, to stabilize your foundation and take even more twist out of your neck over there.
Right.
As it does so, you'll start noticing your palinopsia, all the symptoms of it start calming down. All right? All right, brother, keep it up. See you next time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like it's a lot more manageable right now. It's not completely gone away, but like I was saying, I think a combination of things kind of make it flare up a bit. You know, a combination of if I haven't adjusted or worked on my neck and posture, my neck's hurting a lot, it'll come back a bit more, but nowhere near as intense as when we first met. Like nowhere near as bad. And also, you know, as long as I maintain, you know, my energy levels, as long as I don't succumb to like chronic fatigue, it doesn't flare up as bad. Other than that, it's very manageable, very like a lot more subtle, a lot less noticeable. I have to at this point be looking for it to see any traces of it. I don't want to say it's 100% gone away, but it's definitely more than half gone, more than half rather mitigated or rather you know, resolved. It feels a lot more manageable, a lot less stressful, I'm a lot less anxious about it. So
Hey, that's great. That's great news to hear. Well, we'll keep on working on that. Well, thank you very much for the updates.
thank you, Doc.
Oh, you're welcome.